Hello students, today I am going to show you how to solve an LPP with the help of two-phase simplex method. This is the fourth technique that I am teaching you. First was one of graphical method, second one was simplex method, third one was big M method or penalty method, and this is the fourth one called two-phase simplex method. Here we will use the same technique, same concept of the big M method where we introduce the artificial variable. Here also we will introduce artificial variable, but we will not bring the M here. Let us see how to do it without M. Now this is the LPP that I have taken up, where we have to maximize the z function and its variables are 5x1 plus 3x2, and this is subject to 2x1 plus x2 less or equals to 1, x1 plus 4x2 greater or equals to 6, and x1 and x2 are greater or equals to 0. Now we need to first convert the problem into a general one. So we write the line, we convert the given problem into a standard form by adding slack, surplus and artificial variables. We form the auxiliary LPP by assigning the cost -1 to the artificial variable and 0 to all the other variables. The second line is the most important one in two-phase simplex method. What we do in two-phase simplex method is, in phase 1, we first of all we will let me show you how I have done, that will be easier for you to understand. See, here this is the, I told you not to write the objective function at first, so we will write the constraints first. We give a heading here, phase 1, and we write the constraints first. In the first constraint there was a lesser than sign, so we will introduce one slack variable and we will write equals to 1. In the second constraint there was one greater than sign, greater or equals to sign, so we will deduct the surplus variable and add one artificial variable. So just like the big M method we will do it. So we bring -s2 plus a1 and equals to 6 we will write. Now when we are writing the this is called an auxiliary LPP, and we will have to put a star mark over z. So max z star, that is, this is the auxiliary LPP. How we will write here in the phase 1? First we will write, we will assign 0 to all the variables other than a1 only, or the artificial variable only. So if we assign 0 to all the other variables other than the artificial one, then what we will have? We will have 0x1 plus 0x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2 minus a1. We don't put 0 as a coefficient of the artificial variable. We put a -1. 1 we may not write, so we write minus a1. So this is the new auxiliary LPP. This is an imaginary one. This has been assumed, and we will perform the LPP based on this, and then we will move on to phase 2 if we are allowed to. Now how this is allowed, I have already told you in the class that there are 3 conditions, out of which if first condition is met, then you are not allowed to proceed to phase 2. Whereas the rest of the 2 conditions if you have, then you have to proceed to phase 2. Let us see in this sum we can proceed or not. So in the next step we will form the initial the initial table for the solution, and here the technique will be exactly same, but we will not follow the original LPP. We will now follow the auxiliary LPP and then solve the first initial table. So let me take you to the initial table now. This is the initial table. Here I have just you can take a screenshot and then go on solving by or I mean you can pause the video and then solve on your own and tally with the answer here, because you know how to do it. So I am not going to explain again. So here just following the last simplex method, the big M method, same technique here also. In my last video also you can refer if you have not yet understood how to do this initial table and the iterations, you can refer to the previous videos. So I am not going to explain, you pause the video here and then solve on your own and check whether your answer is matching with this one or not. Then we move ahead with the first iteration. In the first iteration, when we perform all the tasks, here we saw that x2 will enter by replacing s1. So x2 is entering by replacing s1 and x2's coefficient is also 0, so we write 0. Then see in the same form like simplex and big M method, we will solve and see that in this first iteration itself, all the zj and cj will be positive. Again I am holding the phone, the video like the camera like this. You can pause the video and then solve on your own and match with the answer. You will see that in the first iteration itself all zj's minus cj's are positive. So this is as per our auxiliary LPP, this is the optimum solution to the auxiliary LPP. Okay. This is the rough calculation. Again I am holding the camera like this, you can pause it and then check all the calculations. Okay. Now this part I want to explain. Now what we see, we saw that all the zj minus cj are greater than 0, greater or equals to 0. So we write, since all zj minus cj are greater or equals to 0, an optimum feasible solution to the auxiliary LPP is obtained. So this is so far the optimum solution to the auxiliary LPP. But as max z star is less than 0, this is the condition I told you in the class, you can see any book of operations research or quantitative techniques in management, you will see these conditions. Okay. The condition for the first point is that if zj is less than 0, it is following this condition. See, zj is less than 0 and another condition is there, and an artificial variable a1 is in the basis at a positive level. What does it mean? It means that in the basis, that means this is the basis, in the basis there is an artificial variable at the positive level, that means whose value is positive. In the basis if there is an artificial variable at the positive level and zj is less than 0, that is a negative value, then we cannot proceed to the phase 2. Okay. So we will have to stop here. How will we stop? We will write a line. The original LPP does not possess any feasible solution. Okay. So you need to stop at the phase 1 where you will obtain the optimum solution for the auxiliary LPP. You will have to stop there and check whether this condition 1 is meeting. This condition 1 is, again I am repeating, if zj's value is negative and one of the artificial variable is present in the basis at the positive level. So if these two conditions are there, then that means you are satisfying point number 1. So if this is so, you cannot move ahead. What are the two conditions? First is zj's value will be negative. This is zj's value. Okay. Under xb column whatever values are there, they are the values, they are the solution part. Okay. So if zj is a negative value and one of the artificial variable, there was only one artificial variable in this sum, that is if one of the artificial variable or the one artificial variable which is there in the sum is in the basis column with a positive value, then you cannot proceed further. You have to stop there by stating that the original LPP does not have an initial solution or does not have a feasible solution. Thus we mention this statement and stop out here. Okay. Next day I will show you how to a problem where we will be allowed to move to the phase 2 and then what to do in phase 2. Okay. Till today let us completely understand, properly understand the phase 1. Okay. Thank you.